What Ramatava Patia? Where no Lilia? Where no Lilia? No, where Indian?
Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, so we have our participants. Yes, everybody has joined. And the Priya ma'am. Yes. So I'll just share my screen and continue the presentation. Okay. So 1 month.
Can you make me co-host?
Yes, I will. Okay. It's Amuda ma'am, you have to make Shanmuga Priya ma'am as co-host.
Yes, ma'am, I'll just do it. Just 1 minute.
Okay. Just sharing my screen. Is my screen visible? My screen visible? Can someone unmute and tell whether my screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Very sorry for the inconvenience. We'll continue. So we were speaking about carpal tunnel syndrome, tendinitis, fibromyalgia, muscle strain, and low back injuries. Nowadays, it's very common. So whenever you're working somewhere, and even for homemakers, the present day use of gadgets and then doing the home tasks will make you get these lower back pains, because we all don't use the gadgets in the proper way at all. We tend to use our mobiles like lying down, doing, in different postures, which may also cause all of these musculoskeletal disorders. So there is like every chance for muscle pain, low back injuries, rotator injuries, frozen shoulder. The usual thing they say in the doctors say frozen shoulder, which means whenever they slightly move, also it will be severe pain in the shoulder part. Epicondylitis is in this region, you will have the pain. Trigger finger is again like carpal tunnel syndrome, where in one finger, which they use mostly for typing, they get the trigger like very, very sharp shooting pain. Then osteoarthritis is like degradation of bones in general. It can be due to calcium, vitamin D deficiency, but combined with stress and use of gadgets and improper postures. And rheumatoid arthritis is autoimmune. The same arthritis means inflammation of joints. So anything to do with inflammation of joints. So all of this are linked to your work. Okay. So these are the symptoms. You'll have pain. Swelling means it will be like becoming big, numbness, tingling sensation, which will in turn lead to reduced worker productivity, lost time from work. And there have been many, many individuals who were forced to leave their jobs because of this. So anybody who's attending this webinar must ensure that such things, when you identify, if you're already having whatever Neha ma'am and Amuda ma'am will be speaking on, how to overcome such posture related and work related problems, please follow all of that so that you will be able to work for a long period of life and inability to perform job tasks. So what employers can do is, see, you should do job rotation. We should ensure, if you are a HR, if you are in the position of taking decisions, we would request you to move your people between different tasks. and different locations in the office if possible. Don't make them do in the same way or the same task if it is possible. And increasing the variety of tasks in any profession, increasing the variety of tasks and distributing the work among the teams. And automation will also help in reducing, especially in industries where there's higher risk of musculoskeletal disorders, especially in material handling, where there's repeated lifting of objects, pushing and pulling, and workstation. We'll come to the workstation, how it should be. Where do you work? That part, how it should be. And risk factors due to job design, awkward body motions and tools, and inadequate job design. These are the common causes, like pace of work, production pressure, lack of sufficient time to recover from overwork. So watch for these signs and inform and train your workers. Encourage early reporting of symptoms. It's just paining, ma'am. In Tamil, it's okay, we'll manage. No. Once it starts, our body doesn't have that great capability of regeneration and all. We are not, animals like salamander, which can, if you cut the tail of a lizard, it can grow the entire tail. We are not like that. Once gone is gone. Okay. So once the bones get degraded, it is degraded. You cannot build new bone. Okay. We can just balance it and stabilize it. So when you are having the first symptom, please consult a professional. Please consult a doctor. Please consult the naturopathy, Ayurveda, Siddha, and the Indian medicine and the native medicine also. Do exercises. We will come to it. So don't leave at the first symptom itself. And identify, control job related risk factors. This was about musculoskeletal disorders. So now when we are sitting in the same posture every day and all day, this will all happen. Foggy brain. How can sitting in one position make foggy brain? You will all know. See, seeing the same thing, your brain is such a beautiful machine which needs lot of variety. So we are all happy why we are happy when we go to a movie? Because there is sound, there is light, there is movement. Okay, even if we sit in the same place, we are watching a variety of inputs. Our brain is such like that. Always keep your brain active. They say you don't get diseases like Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, and any other age-related issues also if you keep your mind active. How can you keep your mind active? By doing variety of tasks. And strained neck, you all know, if you are going to keep like this, and including me, I tend to do it, and now I'm correcting my posture, we get strained neck. We get sore shoulders and back. And heart disease is it's on the rise. It's a very common problem now, especially due to sitting every day. We'll see why it is. And risk of colon cancer. The way we sit increases your risk of colon cancer. So this is the problem of sitting in one place. Okay. With standing, the major problem is leg disorders like varicose veins or deep vein thrombosis. What happens is when proper circulation is not there with long-term standing, especially for teachers, you should take breaks in between and sit, and you should change your posture. And weak abs, disc damage. Disc means the disc in the spinal cord which surrounds the vertebral disc, the bone which surrounds the spinal cord, if it gets degraded, that will compress the nerves, and that is why whichever nerve is compressed will get pain. If the nerve is compressed at this level, you get hand pain, shoulder pain. Then if you go below, if you go to the hip region where the spinal nerves are compressed, then we will have leg pain. So these are the dangers of sitting. And we all see that there is a survey which says 85% of employees are unhappy with their office environment. So if you are in the HR, kindly make sure that there will be 33% increase in employee satisfaction from an ergonomic office design. What's an ergonomic office design? This is how. So this is how an ideal workstation should be. There should be, first we will see on the right side. So there should be a table and the chair, whichever they are using, it should be at the arm's length. The mouse and the keyboard should be at the arm's length. You should not do like this or like this. Okay, you should not sit below or above. It should be at arm's length. And you should use a bigger monitor instead of the laptop, because we tend to go like this into the laptop. We should not do that. We should have a bigger monitor and a document holder. If you are going to be a teacher also, please get a document holder. Don't correct like this, correct like this, okay? And top of the monitor at eye level, minimal bend at waist. We should never be doing like this or like this, okay? It should be like this, and elbows close to the body. We should not move like this and sit. There should be back rest. Back rest is very important, especially the back rest. The design should support your lower back. We should not go for all these fancy chairs where there is everything else but no support to the lower back. Back support to the lower back will solve a lot of problems. And usually we go for adjustable chairs in the corporates because you will just try to, at least some movement in the whole day can happen. But it nowadays like doctors are telling to have a fixed chair also. It depends on your work environment. And this should be the angle. And front of the seat, not pressing on the back of the knees. It should press only in the thighs, not at the back of the knees. Make sure that these are all set up when you're given a chair and a desk. And the feet should be flat on the ground, or you should have a footrest on the table. It is mandatory. Whenever you are, hanging your legs, the circulation will be affected. Our legs are designed to be on the ground. That is called grounding. So you should be on the ground. And light. So see, there can be physical comfort. Good workplace lighting can lead to physical comfort. Optimal workplace lighting and temperature can lead to functional comfort. But psychological comfort is very important. Each person's comfort is different. So employers should consider that each person's setup of this desk and the light, some people will like bright light, some people will like dull light, some people will like cold temperature, some will like warmer temperatures. We should encourage, and among the team, if the employer is unable to give that freedom, among the team members, you should, come for a discussion and make people sit in the place where they are psychologically more comfortable. Any team and any work can prosper only when there is psychological comfort. It's very, very mandatory. Individually controlled atmosphere is extremely important for better work dynamics. And computer vision syndrome, this is very common. It's not computer vision, it's gadget vision nowadays. Everybody, most of the young children have blurred vision, eye strain, dry eyes. You can ask why I'm wearing glasses. It was due to books, not gadgets. And headaches. Ma'am, always headache. Every day I'm getting headache, but no reason why. I'm eating properly, my BP is normal, but why am I getting headache? It is due to this watching gadgets. Neck pain and difficulty in focusing. See, sometimes difficulty in focusing, we never tend to associate with our work. We will think that it is due to other problems, we are not able to focus on the work, but it's actually work which is causing you difficulty in focusing. So always see that when these things are there, think for a moment whether it is due to your work. And how to avoid eye strain, okay? Make this 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, you should take a 20-second break and look at 20 feet away. Every 20 minutes, can somebody unmute and repeat after me? Every 20 minutes.
Every 20 minutes.
Should break for 20 minutes and look at 20 feet away. This everybody should do, okay? And to better viewing, we should do regular eye checkups and eye exercises, whatever we are doing it, and proper lighting, monitor cleaning. Clean the monitor once in a century at least. We should clean the monitor, and distance adjusting, glare reducing, and keep bigger fonts. Don't keep smaller fonts. Give bigger. Don't worry about others what they think. Okay, it's our eyes. If it goes, only we are responsible. And frequent blinking. If you are not blinking frequently, it is a problem. Okay, so it's like this means it's a problem. And you should wear glasses. Okay, the blue filter glasses, whatever is like being advised by your physician, please do that. But follow this 20-20 rule. It's for everybody. It's not only for gadgets. If you are reading something, if you're doing a same work, 20-20-20 rule is very important. So sedentary lifestyle, we all know whenever we are sitting, see, humans are made to move. Okay, we are like, our human body is made up of 640 muscles. For what? For what God has given it, to sit in one place. He would have made like a bag, if we have to sit in one place. We are made to move. So please move. Why? Because it's been found that when you sit and work for 7.5 hours or more, you are 94% more likely to die. It can sound very alarming and very scary, but that is the truth. So you cannot be sitting all day long, because see, we cannot be controlling adulteration of food, whether the food is very organic, very proper, all those can be controlled only to a certain extent. But we keep eating. When we don't move, that sedentary lifestyle combined with genetic susceptibility. You may say, ma'am, there is one person who always sits, he has got no problem. He lived till 94 years. That is his genetics. If we have a improper genetics, then we have stress, we have other problems, like if they are smoking and all of that, then what happens is your fat distribution and fat functioning becomes abnormal. So there's poor buffering capacity of the free fatty acids, and that is why these fats get deposited in your blood vessels. Then they block the blood vessel, and it results to cardiac disease. And when there is obesity, when the sugar is not processed properly, it can lead to diabetes. And diabetes comes with its own set of problems. You get high blood pressure, and whenever you get diabetes mellitus at early age, you get kidney disease, you have obesity, and there's increased risk of cancers like breast cancer. These are all directly linked to sedentary lifestyle. Breast cancer, large intestine, lung cancer, and ovarian cancer. Why there is so much cancer on the rise? Because of our sedentary lifestyle. Depression, inflammation, dysfunction of the immune system, weak bones, decrease in muscle mass, physical disability. So this is why we are saying, please be alarmed. It's okay to be alarmed. Don't sit all day. So how to reduce sitting time? Stand up and stretch for a few minutes every hour. Use a standing desk. Take walking breaks. If you can use, don't use your own vehicle or car, use a public transport, use walk or bike to work. Use stairs instead of elevators when it is 1 or 2 floors. Ma'am, 90 floors, ma'am, I will go by stairs. No, that is not correct. That will again lead to knee problem. Use, stairs when it's first floor or second floor. Set a timer to remind yourself to get up and move regularly. Ma'am, all of this you say, is it doable? It is doable. See, keeping a timer in your mobile phone is not a problem at all. Keep an alarm. Okay, remind yourself. Sometimes we may be very engrossed in the work that we will not be able to. Incorporate physical activity like walking. When you have to go to a shop or when you go, please walk. Okay, have walking meetings. In your team, at least in your team, encourage walking meetings instead of sitting in a conference room. Choose some hobby like dancing, hiking, sports. And if you are not able to do all of this, ma'am, these are all difficult for me, join yoga. Very simple. One activity, yoga, meditation, pranayama will cover all of this, and Amuda ji will be speaking on it. And opt for a walk or light exercise during lunch breaks. These all are mandatory. If you don't want to, get all the risk of diabetes, cardiac disease, and all the cancers, you have to reduce your sitting time. Okay. These are these things which I wanted to. Now we'll go to mental health, because that is where our webinar comes in, like work-life balance. Okay. In any industry, 61% of the workers said their productivity was affected by mental health. What are the mental health issues? Stress. Stress is like there are symptoms of stress which Dr. Ms. Negaji will be explaining. Burnout is I'm not able to do anything, ma'am. I'm not able to do work at all. I'm just burned out. Okay. And anxiety, depression. Anxiety means something, keeping you awake all the time. What will happen? What will happen? And depression. And then substance abuse. Because of all these mental health issues, only in the corporate culture, there is more of smoking and drug abuse. Okay. Alcohol abuse. So mental health should be addressed to prevent all that. And what are the reasons for workplace stress? Studies have told that unrealistic expectations of managers. This we cannot change because they have their own set of unrealistic expectations of the corporate world. But the next most important is attaining work-life balance. If you don't have a work-life balance, then you will be stressed. See, we all don't get the freedom to do what we love to work. Okay, that's very difficult in a realistic society. But work-life balance is one of the major problems. Heavy workload, looming deadlines, co-worker conflicts. Negha ji will be addressing how you can manage all of this. Okay, and so now it is 6:35. I will just take 3 minutes of your time to show you a video which will say work-life balance is impossible, but in a positive way. After that, we will move to Dr. Amudaji. Okay, I will just share this video for you. Okay, so are we all there? Are you all sleeping? If you're not sleeping, then give some hands up or something, or show some reactions. Something. Please do that. Otherwise, I will think that all of you are sleeping. Yes, Muthulakshmi ma'am has told she's not sleeping. Very good, very good.
Yes, ma'am, we are active.
You're active. Okay, thank you. So we will now go to this video which I want to show you. Okay. Share computer sound.
Brahmaji ji, please.
Okay, so I'm just sharing. Is my screen visible? The video?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Sound visible? Is the sound audible?
No, ma'am.
With 6,500 RPM.
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Piano
ma'am.
with
Yes, now it is.
4,000 RPM. Now, part of the reason that it's so efficient and part of what makes us human beings comparatively inefficient is that this car has only one goal, and that goal is exceptionally clear. It has to go very fast down tarmac roads. As a general principle, no machine can be optimally efficient at more than one thing. A robot that has to both climb stairs and make pancakes will be far less efficient than two distinct machines, each of which can focus exclusively on a single task. The more limited the goals, the higher one's chances of efficiency. Now, unlike the Audi sports car, our brains are not designed or evolved to be maximally efficient at any one thing. This amazing cognitive and emotional machine is a profound generalist. It comes moderately well equipped for a huge range of possible activities. To write a novel, spear fish, bring up a child, drive very fast up Fifth Avenue, sit in a high-rise office writing reports, live in a hut in New Guinea, marry, plot an assassination, live in an ice cave, go into politics, stay single, or expand a small business into the Asia market. Now, the price we pay for being generalists is that we'll be less good at any one of the many activities we perform than someone who did only one thing their whole life long. We might not be the very best at inflating party balloons. The house will be a bit dirty. We might be a bit late for the meeting. We'll not be perfect, patient, and interested dinner companions. We'll mess up the public presentation again. Someone would probably be better than we are at helping a child to paint. This might be quite depressing at moments, perhaps late at night as we look back across the day. But before we get too sad, we should realize that our less than completely optimal performance is down to one very understandable thing, that we've chosen breadth and variety over total focus and narrow perfection. And that's a very wise choice. Focusing on one thing to the exclusion of all others has its costs, as anyone who's ever spoken to an athlete who trains 10 hours a day tends to find out. There's a cost to being the human equivalent of a sports car. Unfortunately, our society has set up an absurd idea that it will be possible to do many things and do them all completely well. That's why we hear so much talk about an elusive thing called work-life balance, perfectly optimal career and a perfectly optimal home life. This is a mad idea. Work-life balance is impossible because everything worth fighting for unbalances your life. We're not going to be at once the ideal domestic chef, childcarer, and CEO. If we're strung out across multiple roles, all will suffer, but that's okay. That you're doing too much and none of it without mistakes isn't a sign that your life has gone wrong. It's a sign of a very wise and understandable position, that you've opted for imperfect variety over flawless focus.
So imperfect variety over flawless focus. So it's okay. You're all actually multi-talented, multi-focused, and you all have been great people who have been doing a lot of things. So where does this work-life balance comes in? It's impossible to achieve a perfect work-life balance. But how to be without stress in a given work? How to manage life? That is where Neha ma'am will be speaking, and Dr. Amuda will be speaking on how to achieve mindfulness and be better at handling your physical and mental health issues from a yoga perspective. Now over to Amuda ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Preeti. Namaste and good evening to one and all. So let me just share my screen. So Dr. Preeti had just given a wonderful introduction with all. Am I audible? Is my screen visible to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So basically what I'll be covering today is at desk or at your job place, how does naturopathy and yoga come into the picture? So how can you incorporate naturopathy and yoga at your workplace? So moving on, the first would be, I would just like to give just a small outline on what and all health risks you have when you're concerned with a desk job or you're focused on sitting at a desk for most of the day. So Dr. Preeti had given a much detailed introduction regarding the health risks. I'll just be giving just a small outline as to what the health risks would be. One would be back and neck pain, which would come because of the improper posture which we sit in during our jobs. Next is repetitive strain injuries. So these repetitive strain injuries are those when you, like, say, for example, you're constantly typing, or you're constantly writing something. For teachers, you're constantly correcting papers, or you're writing with a chalk, or or for IT employees, there's a constant code going on that you'll have to keep typing. There's a lot of mousing work going on. So all that, what happens is there is repetitive use of your muscles of your hand or your shoulders or your back, or all those muscles, when they tend to get used like very frequently like that, it leads to a strain or a stress in your muscle. So that tends to make your muscle very weak, leading to a lot of wear and tear injuries in your muscle. So those are called as repetitive strain injuries. Repetitive means just keeping on using the same muscle more and more, and strain is where the stress part, or your muscles can work only for a, the workload of your muscles is very, just to a nominal extent. And if you overload your muscles, that is when the strain injuries come in. So these repetitive strain injuries basically come because of overuse of your muscles. And next is eye strain. Eye strain, not just strain, but dryness of eyes, the loss of focus, the power issues, the lens problems, everything come under this. It's due to the desk job. Okay. And then obesity and weight gain. Prolonged sitting in one place, one particular place, like in any not just jobs, but even during your lifestyle. If you're like just sitting for more than, like, say, every 1 or 2 hours, you will have to get up and take a break for some 5 to 10 minutes. Because if you keep prolonged, keep sitting for a prolonged period of time, what happens is your metabolism comes down. So once your metabolism comes down, what happens is the glucose uptake or the metabolism of your glucose in the body does not happen properly. So it leads to increased accumulation of glucose in your body, which is one of the major risk factors of obesity, followed by weight gain. And once you get obesity or there's a weight gain, it increases the risk of your cardiovascular problems and also all other hormonal and metabolic issues in your body. So always make sure that you always take a break every 1 or 2 hours. You stand up, do some stretches, which I'll be focusing on the next few slides. Yeah. And then mental health issues. Yes, prolonged looking at just one particular thing, having a lot of things going on in your mind. You have a meeting the next moment, and then you're getting very anxious about it, or you have something very, important to share, and then all that, that makes your mind go into a state of stress, into a state of anxiety, panic attacks. So all that happens when you just keep focusing on one thing. So taking a break is very, very essential when it comes to a job which requires a long time of focusing on one particular thing. And then metabolic issues, as I've already told, because of the increased amount of glucose present in your blood. And then fatigue and reduced energy levels. So once your metabolism starts to kick in, that is when you will have the increased energy in your body. So when your metabolism is hampered or it's slowed down, or there's some irregularity in your metabolism, what happens is you will start to feel very sloggy. You will start to feel that fatigue inside you. You won't have that energy or that enthusiasm to just go on to the next work. I want to do that. I want to do this. No, we will always be like, oh, what am I doing? Why is it like this? Why am I not able to focus? All that, you feeling very tired, or you feeling that I'm not able to do this, I'm not able to focus on this, all that is a sign of reduced energy levels or a disturbed metabolic rate. Yeah. So coming to the things which we can do to combat a sedentary lifestyle by ourselves. In naturopathy, we have various branches of treatment, but here I will be focusing on just 4 main aspects of the treatment in naturopathy, which can help you combat a sedentary lifestyle by yourself. Because the other branches in naturopathy, they require the help of a naturopathic practitioner to come and give you that treatment in person. Whereas these 4 techniques, these are something which we can do for ourselves by our own. At our own workplace or at our own home, we can just keep practicing these 4 techniques. 1 is having a good diet, and 2 is regular practice of yoga, 3 is aromatherapy, and 4 is maintaining a good mental health. So diet and yoga, aromatherapy, these come under a very simple and basic techniques of naturopathy, which have profound benefits which none of us are, like most of us are not aware of. Okay, so there's a proper way in which we will have to plan our diet. there is a set of yoga asanas or just yoga poses basically, or yoga stretches, which can be done at your workplace itself, from the chair on which you're sitting, or just around the room in which you are. And aromatherapy, aroma means smell, and therapy means therapeutic treatment. Okay, so using smell, the smell which we inhale has a lot of uh, medical benefits. That it has a lot of therapeutical benefits. It does wonders to our body, to our nerves, to our muscles, which we are not aware of. So that I'll be talking about. And maintaining a good mental health. So how to maintain a good mental health in the naturopathic way is what I'll be talking about, just an outline. Whereas Mrs. Neha ma'am will be focusing more on the psychological aspect of how we can maintain a very good mental health. So moving on, so how do we plan our diet? So these are the basic tips and tricks which all of us know, but most of us fail to do so. That may be because of the lack of the time we have, or maybe because, it's just like, I have this work to do. I have so many things bundled up, so I can't pay attention to it. No, your diet is very important. What you eat is what you are and what you become. Okay, so your food is your medicine. So you will have to focus on what you're eating, how you're eating. Always be mindful about it. Knowing what is in your plate and knowing what that plate's content is going to do to your body is what we call as mindful eating. So the first point is to stay hydrated. Okay. 3 to 3.5 liters of water per day is the basic quantity which one has to have. 3 to 3.5 liters. Why I'm telling you that what is very important is because just like how our earth is, that is how our body is also. We believe that, that like how we have the 5 elements on the, or the Panch Mahabhutas, we believe in naturopathy that our body is also made up of the 5 elements or the 5 Panch Mahabhutas. So when these get disrupted, that is when you have a problem in your body, or there's a discomfort or disease or pain in your body. So your body, just like the earth, is made up of 70% of water. So that 70% of water, some of it goes through your excretion process, or when you're sweating, or through respiration. So to restore that water capacity, you have to keep drinking water. Just keep yourself hydrated. I'm not asking you to drink, all the fancy juices or tender coconut water, or I mean, those are also good. But the basic water which we have, just the normal drinking water, has wonderful benefits, because the more you drink water, the more the toxins come out. So the water acts as a, as a maybe like, it flushes out the toxins. The pressure, the water which goes inside through the blood vessels, it just brings out all the toxins from your blood vessels. So it cleanses your body entirely, just your normal drinking water. So always keep yourself hydrated. A minimum of 3 to 3.5 liters of water per day is very, very, very essential. Second is to include whole grains. So the whole grains would be like your oats or your millets. Yeah. So these whole grains, they have complex carbohydrates. So the simple, or the, just nowadays, the white rice which we get, some of it is actually adulterated. So the adulterated, carbohydrates, they tend to give only just basic sugars in your body when they get metabolized. Whereas these whole grains are actually complex carbohydrates. So these complex carbohydrates, when they are broken down, like once we have them in as food, and once they enter your body, once they undergo the metabolic process, and once they are broken down in the metabolic process, they tend to become, one part of it becomes sugar, one part of it becomes fiber, and you get everything. Like you don't feel hungry. You reduce the sugar cravings which you have. Like some of us, after the meal, we tend to have that, we need something sweet. We tend to have that sugar craving in us. So those sugar cravings will come down. So always having a complex carbohydrate rich meal is very important for us to, feel full. That is, even if you have a little amount of whole grains, you will feel full for a longer period of time. So you won't have that frequent hunger pangs. You won't binge eat. Okay, you won't like stress eat or binge eat, or you won't go searching for a snack. So that is one thing which we'll have to include in our diet. That is whole grains. And third is protein. Proteins can be your dal, your sambar, your tofu, your paneer, cheese. Any kind of protein is very essential, because protein, it tends to build your muscle mass, that is your muscle strength. Okay, so it is very, very important. I'll be telling on the next few slides on how to plan your plate accordingly. So proteins are very important because they are very, they are responsible for your muscle health or your muscle strength. And next is loading up on fruits and vegetables. Raw fruits and vegetables does wonders to the body because once you have it raw, okay, what happens is there is a component called as tryptophan, which gets released into your bloodstream. So this tryptophan is a wonderful component for balancing your emotions or your brain hormones or your emotional hormones. So this tryptophan is proven to improve your mood, that is improve your happiness level. It gives you a good relaxed feel, it just relaxes you, it calms you down completely. So you don't get that anxious feeling, you don't feel scared of something or something. So regular intake of fruits and vegetables, raw fruits and raw vegetables have been proven to increase the level of tryptophan in your blood, which improves your mood or leading to a better mental health. And next is healthy fats. Healthy fats are like your avocados and then your nuts, seeds, everything comes under healthy fats. Again, healthy fats are also linked to the tryptophan release, and they also help in making you feel full for a longer period of time so that you don't tend to binge eat or you don't tend to overeat. Okay? And always snack smart. So if you're working in an office and then you have some tea breaks or something in between meetings, you have a break. So rather than going to the canteen to have some chat or something, you can always, pack yourself a box of mixed dry fruits or mixed seeds or yogurt. Yeah, all those healthy kind of snacks which tend to give you those good nutritional antioxidants and vitamins and minerals. And rather than the processed foods, you can always shift to the mixed nuts or mixed dry fruits. So those will also help you, they will have a good health impact on you as well. And they'll also keep you full for a longer period of time. And always limit processed foods and sugary snacks. So again, this processed foods and sugary snacks, as I've already told you, these tend to increase the level of glucose in your blood. So what happens is once the amount of glucose in your blood increases, it leads to a issue called as insulin resistance. So what basically insulin resistance is, you have an insulin molecule and then you have a glucose molecule. So what happens is this insulin molecule goes in search of a glucose molecule to go and get binded with it. So once the glucose gets bound with the insulin molecule, that is when the glucose metabolism starts. But what happens is when we take in lots of processed foods, a lot of junk foods, what happens is the number of glucose molecules increases. Whereas the number of insulin molecules to go and bind with the glucose molecules comes down because the number of glucose is increased. So instead of a 1:1 ratio, it's a 1:2 ratio. So what happens is only 1:1 can bind. So the rest of the 1 is just on the bloodstream. So this, what happens is it increases the level of cortisol in our body. So cortisol is also called as the stress hormone. So this cortisol, along with the free glucose molecule in your blood, they tend to increase the fat deposition in your body. Nowadays, most of us have this lower abdominal fat. There's this lower pouch in our tummy. So that is one major sign that you have got insulin resistance or there is an increased level of cortisol in your body. So an increased level of cortisol or an increased level of insulin resistance leads to obesity, weight gain, metabolic disorders, sluggishness, tiredness, and all that comes because of the sugary snacks and the processed foods which we take in. So always shift to snacks which are healthy, which are whole, like your mixed nuts, fruits, vegetables, and try to limit your processed foods and your sugary snacks, your junk foods, any kind of junk foods which are packeted, canned, preserved, no. And next is limiting your salt intake. Okay. Salt, yes, basically without salt, the food does not taste good. I can understand that. But the salt when we go to a higher extent of taking in salt, what happens is salt, basically the sodium chloride in it causes water retention in your body. So what does this water retention means? Like say you have a particular organ, just any organ for that matter, or like today, for example, let us take the heart, just for an example. So your heart is like that. So what happens is when you have an excess salt or there's too much of salt in your diet, what happens is the sodium chloride causes water retention around the organ or around the heart like this. So the heart is there, and then you have a surrounding, a membrane of the water retention caused because of the salt. So whenever you have a membrane surrounding something, what happens is it puts pressure on that particular organ. Okay. So once there's a pressure on that particular organ, the organ's normal function will not happen as efficiently as it was before the membrane was formed. Okay. So the salt causes water retention in the body. That water retention, it causes pressure on your organs, making them to not function properly. So it is very essential to cut down on your salt intake. I'm not asking you to avoid it completely. You will have to cut down. Like say you're using like 1 spoon of salt per dish. You can cut it down to like half spoon or 3/4 of the spoon to begin with. And then slowly you will get used to it. Yeah, but cutting down of salt is very important to, just give your body that relaxed feel for it to make, for it to just go on with its normal work. Yeah. Right. So next will be how we should actually plan our meal. So on the left side, we have a pyramid, and on the right side, we have an image of a plate. Okay. So in this pyramid, if you can see, the bottommost part is your vegetables, salads, and fruits. So the bottommost part of the pyramid is where we will have to focus more on, or which your plate should be, the maximum portion of your plate should be this. Okay. And then moving on, we have your carbohydrates, that is your wholesome cereals or your rice or your chapati, that comes the next. And then come your protein. Okay. And then the next two things are protein, fats. Okay. And then the last would be your foods, which are high in fat, sugar, and salt. So those should actually never be a part of your meal at all. But some days when you crave, yes, you can have them, but always in moderation, not regularly, not every day. Only on days when you really feel like you want to have it, you can maybe go in for a very small amount of it, but not too much. So always try to avoid the topmost part of the pyramid, and always try to include the bottommost part of the pyramid in a higher quantity. Yeah. So coming to this plate. So if you have a plate, you have your meal plate like this. No. So in this meal plate, you will just have to visually or mentally just divide your plate into these parts, where 25% of your plate will be your carbohydrates. That will be your main meal. Okay. So that will be your rice or your chapati or your dosa or idli or whatever your main dishes you're having. That will be your 25%. Next 25% will be your protein. Okay. The protein can be in the form of dal. It can be in the form of paneer, cheese. It can be any kind of protein, that will come under your 25%. The next 10% will be your fats. The fats is nothing but the oil or the butter which you use for cooking. So that will again come under whatever you make. And then the rest 40% of your plate should be fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are very, very essential because they give you that, that necessary antioxidants, the necessary vitamins and minerals responsible for the normal functioning of your body. If you skip that 40%, if you go lesser than the 40%, that is when the balanced diet, harmony gets disturbed. So always maintaining a good balanced diet is very, very essential for a normal and a healthy body maintenance. So moving on to yoga at desk. So in yoga, we'll be seeing different aspects of it. So one will be the physical postures which you do for the body. Next will be how to focus on your eyes, like for your eye health. And the third will be your breathing techniques which you can do. And then lastly, we'll be talking about meditation practices as to what can be done at your desk itself. So first will be yoga at desk, the physical postures basically. So the first we'll be talking about seated forward fold. So the first picture which I've given here is the seated forward fold. So how we'll have to do this is your chair. You'll have to come onto the very tip of your chair. Okay. After coming to the very tip of your chair, you will have to stretch both your legs out. You will have to take your arms up and then bend forward and try to touch your the tip of your toes with your hands. So that is your seated forward fold. Okay. Then moving on to your cat and cow stretch. So this cat and cow stretch is, again, you sit on your chair and then you sit straight nicely, and then you'll have to hunch your back. Your back is straight like this. you will have to hunch it like this, and then you will have to bend forward. So it comes like you go a concave bend, and then you go into a convex bend. So these two come under the cat and cow stretch. The next is the chair pigeon pose. So this chair pigeon pose is the third picture here, where again you'll have to sit on the tip of your chair. Okay, and then you'll have to bend one knee and place one feet on top of the other thigh. Okay, and then you'll have to just bend forward and give a good pressure on that particular leg. And the fourth will be your seated spinal twist. Okay, so this again, you'll have to come to the edge of your chair and then just hold your chair on the sides and then give yourself a nice twist, both the sides. Okay, so that is your seated spinal twist. And the next is wrist and finger stretches. So you'll just, when you're sitting on a chair, you just stretch your hands in front of you, just basic wrist movements and finger stretches, wrist rotation, inversion, exversion, everything. You can just do it whenever you're sitting in a chair. Next is neck stretch. You'll just have to keep one hand on the other ear and then stretch your neck nicely like this. And then backward, forward movement, neck rolling, all kind of neck exercises you will have to do whenever you're sitting on a chair. And next is your desk forward fold. So your desk forward fold is where you'll have to get up from your desk, pull your chair in front of you. Push your chair in front of you nicely, and then you'll just have to make this L shape of your body. That is, your hands hold the chair, and then your body comes into a perfect 7 shape. Okay, and then you'll just have to hang your head down in between both your hands. So that becomes your desk forward fold. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 poses. Yeah, these 7 poses, they tend to stretch almost your entire muscles of your body. The main group of muscles in your body, they get stretched when you do these 7 simple poses from your desk itself. So if your job requires you to be of a prolonged time at your desk, that you don't even have even a minute or two to get up and relax, just by sitting, just by talking to somebody, while talking to somebody, you can always do these 7 poses, which will help, just stretch your entire body out. So once you practice 1 or 2 rounds of the stretches, that will just take like 2 to 3 minutes. So once you do that, you will feel that your entire body getting rejuvenated. Okay, so it is a must that we start practicing, if not all the 7, at least 4 out of 7 whenever you get time, whenever you get time at your desk. So benefits of practicing yoga at desk. So why should we practice yoga at desk? One is reduced stress. So when you do yoga, what happens is your breathing tends to come back to a rhythm automatically. So you will experience a more deeper breathing. You won't have that shallow breathing. You will breathe to your entire lung capacity. So once this regular practice of yoga sets in, there will be a wonderful level of breathing. So once the good level of breathing sets in, your stress levels will automatically come down. Because if you observe, once somebody is stressed, they tend to have this shallow breathing. They don't tend to breathe deeply. So that is why, most of us, we advise others, like, when you feel stressed or when you're angry or anxious, we tell them, calm down, take a deep breath. That deep breath is to calm themselves down. That is to reduce our stress. So that is why yoga is very beneficial, because it tends to, harmonize your breathing. Okay, second is improved posture. As I said, most of our muscles there in the last 7 poses, they get stretched, they get utilized. Okay, so that leads to an improved posture. Okay, next is increased flexibility. So once your muscles and your bones are strengthened, automatically your body becomes more flexible. And next is enhanced concentration and focus. So one main thing in yoga is we actually, when we're doing a particular pose, we tend to concentrate on our breathing and also concentrate on the stretch which that particular pose is giving us. Okay, so this concentration automatically tends to improve your concentration and focus in general, just by focusing on your breathing and just by focusing on the stretch which the particular pose gives in your body. It tends to improve the overall concentration and overall focus in your mind. Then boosted energy levels. Again, regular practice of yoga improves your metabolic rate. It is proven to improve your basal metabolic rate. And once your metabolic rate is improved, automatically your fatigue goes down. That is, your sluggishness goes down and your energy levels are high. Okay. Relief from aches and pains, yes, because it stretches the major muscles of major group of muscles which cause a lot of pain in the body. So those muscles get strengthened, so you don't have much of aches or pains. There's improved circulation because there is enhanced breathing. Circulation and breathing are intertwined. So once your breathing is normal, your circulation automatically becomes normal. Yeah, and there's enhanced mood again because of good breathing, and it promotes mindfulness and presence. Okay, so we know what this particular pose is doing to the body. Yeah, we know that this, if I do this pose, there is this part of my leg which is getting stretched, or this part of my back which is getting stretched. So I'm feeling that release or relaxation in my back because of the stretch. So that is called as mindfulness. Mindfulness is knowing what you're doing and what you're doing, what it does to the body, all that, all the details which you know and practice, that is called as mindfulness. And lastly, it is accessible and convenient. So yoga is very accessible. All of us can practice at our own time, at our own place, wherever we are now. Now, just this last 7 courses, we can just do it from a simple chair itself. So it is very accessible, and it's the most convenient form of physical activity, which requires no fancy equipment at all. It just requires you and your body and your breathing. So you will just have to put in your mind, body, and soul into it and start practicing it to experience its wonderful benefits. Yeah. Right. So moving on to how to take care of your eyes. Again, we saw regarding the physical body, like the muscles of the body, the back, the neck, the legs, every single. But again, on a desk job or on a computer related job or on any kind of desk job, be it, your eyes tend to work the more. You know, the more you use your eyes, the more the strain the eyes go into. So to relax your eyes, what and all can be done is, one is palming, second is eye rolling, near and far focus, blinking, figure 8 movement, and eye massage. Okay, so palming is basically when you rub both your palms, generate enough heat in your hands, and then you place them on your eyes. This tends to relax your eyes completely. Eye rolling is just clockwise and anti-clockwise rotation of your eyeballs. Okay, so that tends to improve the circulation in your eyes. Near and far focus, you'll just have to stretch stretch with your one hand in front of you with your thumb pointing up. Take your thumb far away, bring your thumb back in. So this is very essential for your eyes to focus, to improve the focusing muscles of your eyes. Okay. Next is blinking. Just consciously try and blink your eyes whenever you find time. Okay, that prevents dry eyes. We call it as xerophthalmia. That tends the dryness in your eyes, that doesn't happen. It keeps your eyes all watery and fluid rich. Okay. Then figure 8 eye movement is just diagonal movements, just like a figure 8. It tends to have that, what do we call it? It tends to just, harmonize your eyes. There is this proper balance in both your left eyesight and right eyesight. There's a proper eye coordination which is maintained when you do this figure 8 movement. And eye massage, again, you'll have to start from the lower eyelid and then move up to your temple, and then you'll have to come down again. So that again is for your eye muscles to relax completely. So all these 6 exercises are for your eyes. Okay. And then breathing techniques at your desk. So breathing is again a very important aspect to just, for your mental health, especially. Yeah. So here we'll have 5 kinds of breathing. One is deep abdominal breathing, alternate nostril breathing, Ujjayi breath, Brahmari pranayama, and Bastrika or Kapalbhati. Okay. So deep abdominal breathing is the first picture here, where you will just have to keep both your hands on top of your abdomen, and then you'll have to take in a deep breath in and out. Okay. And then alternate nostril breathing. And the other 4 pranayams, before practicing, always make sure that you're taking a guidance of a yoga practitioner or a naturopathy doctor before you start in, because you will need to have a proper training before starting any kind of pranayams. Okay. So all these pranayams mentioned here, they tend to, relax yourselves completely. So this deep abdominal breathing, when you're taking deep breaths and, just focus on the movement of your abdomen with that of your breathing, what happens is you automatically, your mind tends to calm down. So always try to focus on your breathing whenever you're feeling tensed or whenever you're having some kind of discomfort. Okay. Second is alternate nostril breathing or Nadi Shodhana Pranayam. So this Nadi Shodhana Pranayam is also called as the purification pranayam. So what this does is it purifies your energy channels. Okay, so the regular practice of this pranayam purifies your energy channels. And once your energy channels are purified, there are no blockages. So there will be a free flow of energy That will improve your mood, it will improve your metabolism, and it will just give on a very good health benefit. This Ujjayi breath and Brahmari pranayam are two pranayams in which you will have to make that humming sound. Okay, so that humming sound from the pranayam, actually it releases nitrous oxide in our body. So this nitrous oxide will act is a potent vasodilator. So once it dilates, what happens is it will improve your mood. There will be a proper blood circulation, and it will improve your mood. And the Bastrika and Kapalbhati require a fast exhalation. Okay, so once you exhale fast, what happens is you let go of all the worry and tension. So when you exhale forcefully, all the worry and tension, they just go out from your breath. So all these 5 pranayam techniques help a lot in managing your stress and also improving your metabolism. All right. I'll just take some 5 to 7 minutes of your time. Okay. So next will be taking a break. Okay, Dr. Preeti had spoken much about this. So always set a reminder or a timer to remind yourself to take a break. Taking a break every 1 hour, or if possible, every 30 minutes, or just like the 20-20-20 rule, which you had discussed last part. So remember to take a break frequently. Breaks are very, very, very essential. Every hour we will have to take a break. So what do we do in that particular break? Two things. One is we can keep a step target for ourselves and complete the step target during our breaks. And two, we can practice any kind of yoga asanas, whichever we feel comfortable. Like here I've mentioned Tadasana and Uttanasana. These tend to improve your circulation, and also this Tadasana particularly stretches your whole spine. Yeah, it stretches the entire spine. So that you can see that the spine is very erect. So even if you're sitting on improper posture, if you get up once or twice and do this full stretch, that just aligns your spine in a natural way. Okay, so whenever you're taking a break, one is walk a few steps, keep a step target. You can start with 3,000 steps and slowly you can go up till 8,000, 10,000 steps, but make sure that you complete that step target. And two, just these kinds of basic yoga asanas which can be done at your office environment. These asanas do not require much space. They're just confined to just like 2 square feet or something. So that small space, you can always do these kinds of yoga asanas, right? Meditation and relaxation, even during your office hours, just before you get into a meeting, or just before you're getting into a very difficult class that you cannot manage, or any kind of something which is a challenge for you. Always take 1 or 2 minutes to meditate yourself, relax yourself, and then get into the challenge which you're going into. Okay? So the meditation or the relaxation audios, like you'll just get it anywhere. The meditation doesn't need to be only a guided meditation. It can just be any kind of meditation. You can just switch on some kind of soothing music, and then you can just sit, just close your eyes, concentrate on your breathing, and just listen to the music, and that will calm yourself down like anything. So that is one kind of meditation. And then you have guided meditations also, which you will have to practice at a different place, not at your desk. So at your desk, you can always just put on some soothing music, close your eyes, keep your hands in any kind of mudra which you want. It can be chin mudra or Nyan mudra or any kind of mudra which you want. Close your eyes, take nice deep breaths, listen to the music, and then relax. So that is very, very essential for your mental health. Okay, so that makes you focus more. It improves your concentration. The more relaxed you are, the more effective you will be at work. So always try to focus more on keeping yourself calm, keeping your body healthy, keeping your mind calm, so that you can work more effectively. Yeah. So next is aromatherapy at work. So aromatherapy, as I've already suggested, so we have these essential oils which are being made from plants. So these oils, when inhaled, they will give lot of therapeutic benefits for us. So here I've mentioned somewhere around 7 oils. I'm sorry, 7 oils. The first is peppermint oil. So peppermint has a component called as menthol. Okay, and lavender oil has a component called as linolene. Lemon has a component called as terpene. Eucalyptus has a component called as cineol. Bergamot has a component called as limoline. Rosemary has a component called as linalool. And cedarwood has a component called as cedrine. Okay. So all these components, when taken in a combined form or when taken separate, okay, they tend to improve your mood, or they tend to calm yourselves down. Okay, and they are also proven to have lot of analgesic benefits. Analgesic meaning pain relieving. So any kind of pain, backaches, neck pains, or sprains, or there is some kind of discomfort, or you're feeling that, that pull, nerve pull, or something, these aroma oils, when taken, they tend to release everything. So they have this antispasmodic, analgesic, and mood enhancing effects. So they tend to vasodilate your blood vessels. Your blood vessels get dilated, that improves the blood flow, and then you get a good mood. Okay, there is a good secretion of happy hormones in your body. The dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphin, everything gets secreted just by inhaling a few drops of these oils. Okay. So these oils, how can we use them at our work? So next is what are the aromatherapy techniques which can be done? Okay. So the first will be diffusion. So the diffusion will be just like the pot which is kept here. You will be getting these in the markets also. So the diffusion is where you have a component called as a diffuser. So inside the diffuser, you will just have to put in this aroma oil, and then you just have to switch the diffuser on, just like how our mosquito liquidator works. This is how it is. So you just have to switch it on, and then the vapor comes out, and then the entire room smells good with that aroma oil. Okay. And the second is massage with dilution. The second technique of aromatherapy is massage with dilution. So why dilution is necessary is because the aroma oils are heavily concentrated. Okay. So once that heavy concentrated aroma oil comes in direct contact with your skin, for some people who are very sensitive, it might cause some skin itching or skin burns. So for that, we'll always suggest that before applying any kind of aroma oil directly onto your skin, you will always have to mix it with a dilution oil. That can be your almond oil or jojoba oil. And then you'll have to mix them and then give it as a massage. Okay. Third is baths. Just in your normal bathtub or in your bucket of water, which are using for bathing, you can always add 1 or 2 drops of the oil, which you're most preferred to, and then you have to take a bath. And fourth is inhalation, which we all know. So this can be done even at your desk. The diffuser can be done at your desk, and the inhalation can also be done at your desk. So just 2 to 3 drops of the oil, you will just have to put it on your handkerchief or a tissue paper. And then whenever you're feeling, or whenever you get time, you will just have to keep inhaling that smell, just keep inhaling that few drops of oil. So these work the best for you to relax completely, and also for you to rejuvenate completely. But before starting any kind of aromatherapy technique, always make sure that you consult a proper naturopathic doctor, because we will be able to prescribe you the exact quantity or the concentration or the exact number of drops which you will have to be using for yourself, because every body is different. And lastly, how do we maintain our mental health? Through the natural way. Neha ma'am will be talking more in details on how to basically maintain our mental health in a proper way, but I'll be talking about how do we maintain our mental health through natural way of living. Okay? So the first will be a well-balanced diet rich in whole fruits and vegetables. As I've already mentioned, whole fruits and vegetables, when you have it, they tend to release tryptophan in your body, which improves your mood. So again, always tend to focus on the tryptophan content in your whole fruits and vegetables and tend to switch there. Next is maintaining a good gut health. There is a research telling that your gut is linked to your brain. So that is called as your gut-brain axis. Okay. So in your gut, you have a lot of bacteria present, the microorganisms present. Okay. So for the bacteria that bacteria has to be in a hormonal balance. There should never be an imbalance in the level of the bacteria in your gut. Okay. So to maintain that good balance, of your bacteria, you will have to take in more of probiotics and prebiotics in your diet. Okay. So the prebiotics are the food for the bacteria, and probiotics are the food which have the bacteria in them. Okay. So the probiotics will be your curd, okay, and your prebiotics will be your banana. So these kinds of prebiotics and probiotics in your diet, try including them to maintain a good balance of your microbiome. Next is aromatherapy techniques, which we just discussed, and yoga practices like Brahmari Pranayam, meditation, relaxation, any kind of relaxation practices, and yoga nidra that tend to just calm yourselves down. They give a good, complete physical and mental relaxation. So starting of yoga practices is very, very essential. And hydrotherapy techniques like steam bath and sauna bath or hot food bath is because they tend to flush out the toxins from your body. You start to sweat when you take a steam bath or sauna bath. So once you start to sweat, your toxins come out. And once your toxins come out, there is a complete relaxation in your body. You'll feel rejuvenated and refreshed. And exposure to sunlight. sunlight exposure is very, very, very important. Not the time when you go to the office, but the early morning sun around 6 to 8, and or the evening around like 4 to 5 p.m. That is when you will have the good UV rays present. So those UV rays, when they come in contact with the body, with the skin has a content called as nitrous oxide, which when comes in contact with the UV rays, they tend to vasodilate, and they also help to enhance your mood. Yeah. So these are just a normal outline on the natural way on how to maintain a good mental health. More mental health regarding how to maintain a good mental health, I give it more to Neha ma'am. Neha ma'am, I think you can move on from here. With this, I end with my thing. So for naturopathy and yoga consultations, this is the number given here. So thank you one and all. So over to you, Neha ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Abuda
ma'am.
ma'am, for your wonderful and informative sessions. How is everyone? Namaste. Everyone awake?
Namaste, ma'am.
Okay.
Namaste, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful response. Okay, so let's do one thing. Now that we have been sitting for a long time, and for such a long time, Preeti ma'am and Amuda ma'am have been saying that, you should not sit for a long time and all. So can we just make a few stretches? Okay, just stretch your hands to the front as much as you can. Just stretch. Then take it up, stretch a bit more to your side, then to your other side.
Would request participants to
Nicely
switch on their
rotate.
video also, if possible, so that we will know that you are actually stretching.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just try to. Yeah, thank you, Preeti. So yeah, stretch nicely, stretch on both the sides. Look back, nicely look back. Okay. So welcome to this webinar, all of you. Hope you all are feeling a bit energetic. Don't worry, I'll just take another 20-25 minutes or maximum 30 minutes of your time. And we will wrap it up before time so that we have some question and answer time. So I'll just share the screen now. So let me just adjust my slide up for a second. Okay. Yeah. So fuck you. Visible, all of you?
Yes, you are there. Now we got you back. Yes,
Yeah, I was not there for a second because of range issues. Okay, so let us just go ahead with the current slide. We'll just start presenting. Okay, so this is, Preeti ma'am and Amuda ma'am spoke about what were the health hazards and how you can manage these health hazards. Amuda ma'am focused on how you can take care of your health in the office. But what about bringing a balance? This is office, professional life. This is house, personal life. How can I bring the balance between the two? So for that only the psychological session is done. Okay. So we'll start with a beautiful quote by our former former President Abdul Kalam ji. If you fall in life, neither your boss nor your client will come to offer you a help. It will be your friends and your family who will come to help you. With this mindset, let's go ahead. A few more things that sir has told us. Love your job, enjoy your work, but don't love your company, because it might be that you might need to relocate, you might need to go to some other city, or your company needs some other person and you are not.
there are some issues with connectivity. So
Please leave office on time because work is always happening.
She's joined back.
Tell me, how many of you have seen that your work has got over? Office, let it be in the office or let it be in your house. There is always work, right? So always leave your office on time, be home. Your client is important, but so is your family. Okay. And there is more to life from office. You need to socialize, you need to entertain, you need to relax. Because if these things don't happen, your health will not be healthy. And if it is not healthy, you will never be able to give an output in your office. You will be only taking more of sick leaves. Okay. And Please read this line very carefully. A person who stays late in the office is not an hardworking person. Rather, the company looks at him as a person who is inefficient because they are not able to finish the work on time. Rather, leave your office on time, not before time, not after time. Okay, so let us go to the next slide. So what is work-life balance? What will we get if we achieve work-life balance? So first is reduced stress. I am happy at my home. I'm happy at my office. I'm able to balance the both. So I have reduced stress. So that leads to a healthy physical and mental well-being. And that leads to improved productivity. I am at peace. I don't have guilt. I don't have stress. So I don't focus on other unnecessary things. I focus when I'm in my office in the work, and I focus when I'm at home in my housework, spending time with my family, with my children, right? And because of this, the relationships improve and I get increased satisfaction in both my job and my life. And this leads to long-term sustainability. That is, I'm able now, if I'm burnt out, if I'm stressed, then I will need to take break every few days, right? If I overwork for a long time in my office, then I will have to take a long weekend off. Rather, if I leave time on, leave my office from time or leave from home on time, then in the long run, I don't need to take much leaves because I'm physically fit, I'm mentally fit. So my sustainability, that is, I'm able to work continuously, persistently, right? And I will be modeling a healthy behavior to my children. Just think, all of you, you're also free to share your inputs in the chat box. Preeti ma'am will help me read the chat box. So just think, how many of your parents came home and started attending calls? They were blessed. They did not have mobiles. So they never brought work home. When they came home, they were with us. But what do? Even after coming home, we have calls, we have our laptop, we have everything, right? Because of that, our children, because we are in mobile and laptop, our children are modeling us. They are just taking the mobile. They know mobile more better than what we know, right? I mean, most of you parents, including me, we have the complaint that our children are always into mobiles. Why? Because we are modeling that. But if we put a boundary, saying that, no, after this, I'll not look into my mobile, I'll not look into my, just a minute, give me a minute, I'll just.
So, ma'am was asking, did anyone's parents came home with mobile? So we never received anything in the chat box. Somebody can unmute and also speak. So, yes,
Sorry,
ma'am, it's fine.
a bit of internet issue was there, so I just resolved it now. So like I was saying, let us model healthy behavior to our children. If we don't take mobiles at home, that is, if we don't look into our mobiles at home, our children will also not look much into mobile. And if we spend time with them, they will not spend time with the mobile, right? So going to the next one, how many of you can relate with this? Is it relatable to you all?
We are stuck in the same slide, ma'am. The work-life balance slide. Is that the same slide, ma'am?
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm just going to the next slide now. So
Yes.
everyone is clear till now?
Yes, we
Okay,
are.
let's play a small game. Okay, so I want you all, now I'll play a music. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes. Think, what are your values? What are the things you uphold? What are the things you value a lot? Say, punctual, I'm being punctual, I'm a kind person, I'm a modest person, I'm a helpful person. What are your values? And based on your values, depict yourself. Like you can see in the screen here, one woman has depicted herself as a tree. I take care of the health of my family. I take care of my home and everything. So one person has said, I'm a person who shares love. The other person has said, I like to grow. I like to contribute. I have friends and time, like that. So now I'll play a music and I want you all to listen to the music and think for a few minutes as to what is your value in life. And then you will share that with me in the chat box. Okay, so your 2 minutes starts now. You need not draw.
So everyone is requested to think of yourself. What is the best thing about you? And type it in the chat box.
Yes. Take 2 minutes. You need not draw. You can just type it. I am a tree. Maybe I am a mountain. I'm a cloud. Based on your value, you can put your value and your thing. Beautiful. We are receiving a few answers. Sharmila ji says, I'm a butterfly. Oh, I'm a sunflower with happy and sunshine. Nice, nice. Manju ma'am says, I'm a great mom. Wonderful, Manju ma'am. Yes, others. I am a tree and happy. I am a full moon. Nice, Priya ji, Vasanti ji. Beautiful. I'm a cool wind. Nice. I'm a supportive, punctual, straightforward person. My daughter says she's a chocolate. Nice. Full of sweetness. Superb. Monica ji, you are a pleasant weather making others cool. Nice. Okay, Sharmila ji, you accept changes. That's why you're a butterfly. Nice. Good, good, good. Okay, we have received a good amount of replies. We'll wait for another 30 seconds and then we'll go to the next slide. I am wind, Shri Devi ji. Nice. Okay. Now we'll go back to our slide. Okay. Thank you all for your wonderful answers. So I asked you to think about your values. Why? Because if you have to set boundaries, you should know what your values are. So decisions are easy when you know your values. How? Because I know my value. So I know what I want. And then I'll think whether I got what I want. If yes, I'm thankful for it. If no, then okay, I'll try for it more. I'll accept it or I'll try for it more. I'll explain with one example, okay? As most of you here are women, I'll take this example. All us women have this thing called as working mom guilt, right? How many of you have it? Can we just see raised hands, please? How many of you have working mother guilt? You are working. Yes, Monica ji says yes, right? Sharmila ji and many more people. Yes, I can see Manju ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for your such proactive responses. Yes, when we are working, we have a guilt that we have left our children at home and we are not with them, right? And if we are a working mother, I mean, if we are a homemaker with our children, we have a guilt that we are not supporting our family financially, right? We have guilt both way around, right? The society expects us to take care of our children, right? Like we don't have a job and to work, I mean, and to go and work as if we don't have children, right? So how can we do it? Here, we should be very clear what our value is. Whether our value, here no value is wrong. Whether I want to be a very caring mother, stay at home mom, that's a good value. Whether I want to be a woman who works, that's okay. Or I'm a woman who needs to support the family, so I want to work, that's fine. Or I'm a career-oriented woman, that is fine. It is fine. But you should be very clear with your value. This is my value. I want to be a career-oriented woman. I want to be a working mom. I want to support the family financially, or I want to be a person who stays at home and take care of my children. That is fine. Here, there is no right, no wrong. So if you know your value, then you're very clear what your want is. I am working because I want to work. because I'm a career-oriented person. I am working because I want to take care of my children. Financially, I want to provide for them, support them. I want to make resources ready for them when they come to their college. That is fine. Or I want to be at home and take care of my children so that I bring them well. Fine. So your want is clear. And when your want is clear, whether you are getting it or not, you can work towards it. Okay, so values, want, and then working towards it makes your work-life balance very easy. Nowadays, even fathers are having working father guilt or working dad guilt. Many of the fathers are coming up. In fact, 20 to 25% men who are in the working industry have reported it. So that's really kudos to our men who are coming out and saying that, yes, they want to contribute to the family equally. So now let's play a small game, okay? I just want you all to answer in yes or no in the chat box. Clear? Just answer yes or no. I'll give you 3 situations. Okay. Now it is 7 o'clock. Now it is 8 o'clock. You have to go home. Pack your things. 12 o'clock is your flight. Okay. So you're leaving from your office and immediately you get a call stating that you need to be there and you need to be there for the work. One work that only you can be done is done. Okay. So will you stay back or will you go? Just type whether you will stay back or whether you will go in the chat box. Okay, stay back. Stay back. Thank you, Muthulakshmi ma'am. Stay back. Sharmila ji, yes, yes, stay back. Yes, you'll stay back. Okay, Sridevi ji, thank you. Thank you for your wonderful response. Okay, many people are saying yes. Oh, Vasanti ji, Munuswami ji, thank you, thank you. Okay, now here is another one situation for you. You are sick. Okay, your house is in a mess and there is no one to help you and you have guests coming in. Will you tell your guest to come on a later date? Yes or no? No. You will not tell your guest to come on a different date. Okay, okay, no, no. Okay, I can see many no's. Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. And here comes the third situation. Okay, your children have to submit a project in the school tomorrow. Okay, they want your help in that. Your spouse is not in town. He or she is out of town. Okay, and your maid has put holiday for 2 days. Okay, and there is chaos everywhere. Okay, will you take a 2 hours break between all this chaos, drink a cup of coffee and get rest? Say yes or no. No. Okay. Yes, sir. Very good, Arya Anandji. Yes, no. Okay, here I can see a mixed set of reactions. No, yes, okay. Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you for yes, no, I can see still responses coming in. Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful responses. So the thing is, this was a question, or these were the set of questions to understand what is your ability, how much is your ability to set boundaries. So setting boundaries is you need to have the ability to say a no and prioritize yourself. It's okay if there is a work, but you have applied for vacation, that is your family time. So it's okay, you can always tell them I can come back and do it. But this is a time I have promised my family. You have a flight at 12 o'clock, it is already 8 o'clock. You need to leave, you cannot stay back. See, then you will get all the guilt, all the burnout, all the dilemma and everything. And if it is okay to tell your guest, please come some other day. I'm not in a state, I'm sick. I cannot clean the house or look after you. If you come on some other day, I will be healthy and I'll take care of you well. Set boundary, it's okay to say a no. And similarly, when there is a chaos, it's okay, you deserve time to rest. Taking 2 hours break is not wrong. Once you're rejuvenated, you can again run. Setting your boundaries is prioritizing yourself and getting time for your...
It is so difficult. They will mistake us. Our boss will make us, we may lose the job. How do we take it? How do we take it easily? How do we handle it better?
Yes, that is where I'm coming to. Thank you. Thank you so much for the question. See, when I say prioritize yourself, you are not, okay, now we will be looking into the slides. When I'm going ahead, I'll answer you. First is practice self-awareness. That is where the first slide was there. Know your values and your wants. Okay. Next is set where your boundaries are. Okay. That is identify your limits. I can do these many works. I cannot do these many works. This is the time I have to leave. This is the time I have to be there. Whom do you need to prioritize when? If your child is sick at home, you need to prioritize your child. Identify your limits. Sometimes we say that, okay, boss has given me extra work. But think, if by doing this extra work, your main work is going to get compromised, then it's okay. And you can always tell, just like now a question was asked. I'm sorry if I didn't share this job. Yeah, I'm sorry. So you can always tell your boss, you can always talk to them affirmatively. And and you can always tell them, please, if your boss you feel will take it in the wrong way. First is understand that if your boss is a person who understands your needs, he or she will not take it in a wrong way. But you have to put it across to them. Don't go and fight. Ma'am, I have to go. I have a vacation and you're now asking me to do a job. No, go and tell. See, I understand that there is an emergency, but there is also this person who can do the job. I'll talk to him and ask him for covering me up, ask him to cover me up, but I need to go because there is a flight. Put your things in an open manner. And always understand that what we think may not be the case. Like I'll tell you, there was this one example in which a man, his child was having an open house. That is, in the school, the teachers had called for a PTA meeting. So the man went to the boss and told that, boss, I want half day. The boss was in some angry mood and he told that, no, I cannot give you half day and all. You go, you work. Can't you see so much work is there? Please go. So he went away and then he came out and he started complaining to his friend, CER, the boss doesn't even understand all this. The friend asked, did you tell the boss that your child needs you? So the man thought for a minute. He said, go. The friend said, go talk to the boss. He again went in and told, sir, my child is having an open day and I need to be there. Can I just take 2 hours break? I'll be back. So the boss said, oh, is it so? Please go. But come back in 2 hours because there is a lot of work. Do one thing, you take 2 hours break, work for extra 2 hours. So you can always find a solution when you talk it out. If you run with your own prejudice, you will never know what is the problem. Okay? Be firm. That is what I said. Be firm in telling, but also be flexible. Sometimes the boss may say, you do one thing, take the laptop. You're going on a vacation, I understand, but take the laptop whenever possible, work from that. See, a solution comes in. So also be flexible to whatever the other person says. And respect others' boundaries as well. If you are a boss, understand that your employees might need some time off as well. Your friends, your colleagues might need some time off well. So give them time. Okay? Don't go and complain, cover for them rather. And seek support if needed. Take the help of your family. Take the help of your colleagues. Take the help of your children. Your children will be more than willing to help you. And be consistent in saying no. It's okay to say a no. We have this people-pleasing tendency. They should not think bad about me. It's okay if sometimes people think bad about you. Okay, so here comes the next point. So that was about how to set boundaries. This is about how to manage our own self. Okay, so we all have been taught SMART goals, am I right? But we should also have clear goals. Okay, that is collaborative. Take help from others, take help from your colleagues when you are setting goal. When you are setting goal, who all can help you identify. Okay, be specific with your limit, how much time you have. Also take in emotional aspects such as, will this goal motivate you to work better? Will this goal give you some sort of self-satisfaction? Think about that. And appreciate yourself after you achieve small goals. Say, very good, I have done it. Okay, and ensure that you can change the goal in between. It should not be that your goal is very strict. At times in between, you should be able to adapt to it. And how can you identify or prioritize your task like this? Make 4 columns. Is it important but not urgent? Go ahead with it. You can do it later. Important and urgent, go ahead with it. It is not urgent but important. Okay, you can do it later. It's neither urgent, neither important. Remove it from your task. Every day morning when you start your day, do this. What are all the things you need to do? Set a limit. Put down all the goals that you have to do, small goals, buying groceries, taking care of your children, doing their project, doing the laundry, everything. Then put it like this. Is it urgent but not important? Urgent and important, not urgent, not important, and neither urgent nor important. Okay. Then put a schedule. From this time to this time, I'll do this work. From this time to this time, I'll do this work. But also keep it flexible. Sometimes guests may come. Sometimes you will have some other work, some other urgent work might pop up. But don't have a fixed timetable. Every day morning, put a timetable like this. Because we never know how our next day will be, right? And try to stick to it. At least do 80 to 90% of it. Okay. And next is chunking. If you have a big goal, break it into smaller targets and do it. 2 other things that are very important when you are doing a work is first minimize the distractions. So the thing is, how can you minimize the distractions? For minimizing the distractions, first is understand how can I limit my interruptions. How many coffee breaks I take? Can I limit it? And if I am taking a break, how can I quickly recover from it? Okay, maybe you can put in your mobile phone, do not disturb, I'm in a meeting. Okay, or if you are disturbed, then coming back to your work and getting into the set of work, how can you do it? We have impulses, right? I need to take a coffee break. I need to have a long lunch break, or I need to see into my device. So how can I reduce it? If I can reduce, if the other thing is, how many times? Okay, I cannot reduce it, but how many times will I allow myself to go into it? Okay, in the same way, how immersion, that is how much am I getting addicted? Sometimes I'm addicted so much to the perfection that I am not able to come out of the perfection. I need my works to be done so well that I'm only focusing on the work and the other works are getting pended. I'm getting immersed into perfection. So how can I avoid it? Okay, and if I am getting immersed, how can I come back to my situation conscious? So interruption, impulses, and immersion. If you work around this, this will help you minimize your distraction. And similarly, the other way is called as we call it as the Pomodoro technique. In the Pomodoro technique, you will work for 25 minutes, take 5 minutes break. After 5 minutes, come back, work for 25 minutes, 5 minutes break, come back, 25 minutes, 5 minutes break, and then take your lunch break. Even if you're working at home, follow this. Because when you take that 5-minute break and you come back to your work, you are able to focus on your work. Right? You're getting a new perspective. You're getting a change of idea. Okay, and this is the last slide for today and also the longest slide. So please give me 5 minutes more. Sorry for all the extra time that I'm taking up. So first is in all these things in achieving the work-life balance, everything, you need to prioritize yourself. So love yourself, like yourself, and accept yourself the way you are. Be proud of what makes you unique. Let go of what you cannot change in yourself. You cannot change everything in yourself, right? The certain things that you cannot change, let it go ahead. Just leave it and go ahead. Identify your strengths. What are your strengths? Think positively. There is always bad situation. I know none of us have good life. All of us have tensions and negativism. But if in that we can look at things positively, it would be a great help. Okay, be kind to yourself. You make a mistake, a glass of water slips from your hand and we start scolding ourselves. What did I do? Such a big mistake. Why did I do this? Oh no, I should not have done this. Rather than that, okay, I made a mistake. I'm a human being. I can make a mistake. It's okay. Let us now solve this problem. Okay, this glass of water has fallen down. Let us just clean it. Okay, I made a mistake in the office Excel report. Fine, I'm allowed to make mistakes. I'm a human being, right? So it's okay. Let's be kind to ourselves. I'll redo it. Fine. And find support. There should be someone to whom you can always talk. And now I'm going to share a list of things that you can do so that this would reduce your stress, and both in your personal front and your professional. Even at home, we are stressed. So how to overcome stress? How to overcome, even at home, we get burnt out. We are doing so many works, right? So how to overcome it? So the first thing would be music therapy. So to explain you what is music therapy, can you all do me a small help? Just think of one personality of yours. In personality, you have many types like within you, right? So think of one aspect of your personality and a song related to that. To give you an example, okay, I am a people pleaser, okay? So to overcome that people pleasing, there is one Hindi song which is like कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का क्या है कहना, छोड़ो बेकार की बातों में, कहीं बीत न जाए रहना. Okay, so like that, you will have certain songs which will reflect your inner thinking, which will reflect your personality, which will reflect one attitude that you want to overcome. So can you share which is that aspect of your personality and what song will do you relate to? I'll give you 2 minutes, think, okay, and put it in your group. Put it in the chat, that is. I want you all to think one aspect of your personality and a song that relates to it. Like I have people-pleasing personality. So to overcome it, I listen to this song always. So what is your go-to song? And share it in the chat. Okay, someone has put Singapenne. Super, super. Someone has, I tend to hold. So idavum kadandu pogum. Nice. Oh, very good. From 36 Vaidinile. Nice song. Na ready ada varva. Super, super Priya ji, super Sharmila ji. Nice. Oh, idavum kadandu pogum is a good song. And Singapenne is surely a motivational song. Oh, super, super. Oh, many people have Singapenne song. Super. Yadir Nichaladi. Nice. Yes, very true. Yadir Nichaladi. Nice song, Monica ji. Super, super. Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful responses. So this is music therapy. Music therapy is not just listening to music. Music therapy is relating to the music, relating to the song. And if you listen to these songs that touch your heart and soul, that is music therapy for you. Okay. Next is music therapy should not be alone. Okay. You should not only listen to music. Along with music, you should sing and you should also dance. And if you should have mindful walks. Put down the music in your ears and walk. When walking, no, when you go for a walk, don't talk over the phone to your amma, auntie, or your boss. Put the music and walk nicely. That itself is a music therapy, a movement therapy, and a walk therapy. Similarly, altruism. Do some helpful work. Be volunteer with some NGO. Help out something, maybe your maid's children or something. Some altruistic tendency you should have, because that gives a self of satisfaction, a sense of satisfaction. It gives you like you have achieved some purpose in your life. So altruism. Similarly, have hobbies like drawing, painting. How many of you had stamp collection, coin collection hobbies and all? Can I see raised hands? Or drawing or collecting beautiful drawing. Many people I can see. Yes, Monica ji, Manju ji. Are you following it still? Do you read? How many of you had reading? Do you follow it? If not, then please, you need to give yourself half an hour of time. I'm not telling you every day. Weekly half an hour of time, at least. And get in touch with your hobbies. Sunday half an hour, you deserve it. Get in touch with your hobbies. That itself will help you clear your mind and give you a sense of gratification. Similarly, travel to one new place every year. Whether your family comes or not, you go. Okay. Similarly, have small self-improvement targets. Like in health, I will reduce 1 month, 1 kg in 2 months, or I will eat something like anything related to your health. Professionally, have one target. This year, I will study one extra course. Personally, have one target. Like maybe this year I'll get this gift for myself, or I'll go travel to this place. Every year, have these small targets that will give you some direction, and it will also give you a sense of appreciation. And buy a gift for you every year once, huh? Or else your family will come and scold me. One gift a year is what I'm saying, and you deserve it. Buy yourself a gift and clap for yourself and appreciate yourself. Very good, very good, very good. Right? Do the right thing, and remember life is short. Okay. So before I end today's session, I want you all to think for 2 minutes and thankful for 5 things that happened today. I want you all to write down 5 things that happened in the whole day today for which you are thankful. Take 2 minutes and do it. In the meantime, we have also shared our feedback form. Oh, someone had shell collection hobby. Nice, nice, super. Okay, we have also shared our feedback form. Please fill in the feedback. And if you like our webinar, we would request you to share your WhatsApp number. We'll join you to our community so that we do have every fortnightly one webinar. It will be easier for us to give you this information. So if you can join in the community, that would be a great help. And I'll ask Preeti ma'am to continue. In the meantime, I want you all to put on your 5 things you are thankful for. Yes, Sharmila ji, in the form itself, we have the WhatsApp number. You can give it there and we'll add you to the group, ma'am. Thank you very much. Think and write down 5 things you are thankful. In the meantime, also fill in the forms, and we have shared our medical guidance number, mind care number, and naturopathy number. It is there on the screen. You can definitely reach out to us for any medical related help.
Miss Monica Rajendran had raised her hand. Can we have your question, ma'am? Monica,
Yes,
ma'am.
Ma'am, no, ma'am, sorry. It is a previous question. For that, I raised the hand, ma'am.
Sure,
Okay.
sure. Thank you.
Anyone
Okay,
has
thank you, ma'am.
questions,
Thank
you
you.
can please ask. Please feel free to
Sure,
ask
sure.
questions.
Ma'am, we had a big issue of maintaining the time, ma'am. The time
Yes.
management is very much hectic to us because we have to take care of our family as well as the workplaces, work-based things and all. So this
Yes.
is the main thing. Uh, I felt
It,
so bad on it.
no, please don't feel bad. See, there will always be few things that we cannot do. Okay, that is why just prioritize which are urgent and important, focus on them first, then come to think that things that are urgent and require your help, maybe some medical emergency or something, that would be rarely be there, and then come to things that are important. Okay, there are a few things which we will have to let go. We'll plan for 10 things. If we are able to do 60% of the things, that itself is an achievement, ma'am. Because with
Okay.
the life that we are leading, we cannot have everything, but let us try to do the main ones. And let us
I'll
not
try
take guilt.
tables, ma'am. Table you told, no?
Yes,
I'll
ma'am,
try.
please.
Ah,
This
today onwards I'll
daily
just try it.
timetable would definitely help, ma'am. Something
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
which
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have tried and it helps. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Any more questions?
So this is regarding our medical guidance. So we have our free medical guidance, and it's like we provide guidance on hospitals, then second opinions, and we help with accommodation, travel for outstation patients. Any sort of medical queries, you can contact us. And the Mind Care Psychological Counseling Initiative is free for students of any school, including our own DAV group and other outside schools. And people who cannot afford, who will not be able to pay, who do not have a source of income, it is free. Any number of sessions, it is free. And we have a team of expert counselors with whom you can get counseling sessions. And if you're able to pay, it's an affordable fee of 300 rupees per session. So we would urge everyone to share this information to those who are needy. And our naturopathy and yoga helpline, it is also a free helpline. Please note down these numbers, and we look forward to your feedback. And if there are no more questions, thank you all for joining this interactive session. And thanks to Amuda ma'am and Neha ma'am for the enlightening session. And thanks to our team who have been instrumental, and to the management for this webinar. So looking forward to future webinars. So can we end the webinar, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, all of you, for your time.
Namaste all. Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, ma'am.
Namaste, ma'am. Good night, ma'am.
Namaste. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.